Okay, mathematicians, welcome back. So we're going to do a new number of the day today, and we're going to be doing 136. So to start off, put that number at the top of your paper, and then at the bottom, write with me 136. Also, some of you have been asking me which kind of marker pens I use for this. These are the same ones that we use in my classroom for our number of the day and for publishing. They're these right here. I'll put a link in the description box just in case you want to check them out. But another popular set of pens that some teachers use for their work are these. So whichever one you're most comfortable with. I like these just because they're similar to the Sharpies, but they don't bleed through the back of the paper. So 136, we're going to have 3 minutes as usual to show off our best thinking. And just like when we did 135, let's think about different ways to represent a number without having to write every single number to represent 136. So we're not going to be writing all the numbers from 1 to 136 today or doing dots. Think of other ways that we can represent 136 that are efficient and show off all the different skills that we have as mathematicians. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, stop. so let's see what are some strategies that I came up with today. And again, these are based off of not just strategies that I like, but these are strategies that I've seen some of you use in our classroom back before the quarantine. I miss all of you so much. So let's see. I started off by demonstrating I can decompose numbers with the strategy where I take the middle number and break it apart. So I did 100. Sorry, I'll start off with this one. 100 plus 30 plus 6. So I broke it apart into hundreds, tens, and ones. Then I did 100 plus 20 plus 10 plus 6, because I know 20 and 10 more leads to 30, so I was able to break apart 30 into these two different numbers. And then since I also know that if you take 3 tens and put them together, that would make 30, I came up with the number sentence. 100 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 6 leads to 136. Then instead of decomposing the 30, I broke apart the 100 into 50 and 50 for this number sentence here. And then right here, I started breaking apart 50 into 25 and 25. But then I ran out of room and I didn't want to just keep going to the next line to write my number sentence. So I did the sort of tree strategy that we've been working on before we went off on quarantine. And then I put those two 25s together to make 50. I put the two 50s together to make 100. And then I pretty much wrote the number sentence. I wrote the same number sentence that I did up here, except I started off in a different way by breaking apart the 100 into 25s. Then I started making this pattern right here with the number sentence that I was inspired to do from something I did the day before when I was doing 135, and I kept it going. I may, however, want to go and double check my work to make sure that these number sentences are true. That is something that I may want to consider as a mathematician, just because even though you may come up with a pattern and you have a lot of evidence that that pattern will probably work, it's still good practice as a mathematician to always double check your work. Remember what happened to me when I did the number 135. When I went back to double check my work, I discovered that I was missing a number in my counting. So again, it's always a good idea as a mathematician to double check your work. Then I started counting and writing by 10s to get to 136. And then right here I started skip counting by 20s. And then when I got too far ahead, I went back and took 4 away to get to 136. So let's count how many strategies I have now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 strategies, mathematicians. Remember yesterday I only had 3? So again, it's amazing if you are able to have the stamina and the persistence to show all your thinking from 1 to 135 or 136, but it's not necessarily efficient. And sometimes in math, we have to think about what is efficient. So today, instead of having an extra 3 minutes, we'll have 1 more minute of extra thinking time to show off more of our thinking. So ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so I'm going to put a pause on my thinking right there just to remind myself that if I want to go back later on to finish that strategy, I can. So let's see. And again, just because I'm writing down these ideas to represent 136 doesn't mean that you have to as well. Be as creative as you want and show off the thinking that you have in your head. So let's see. I did 50 plus 10 leads to 60, plus 40 more leads to 100, plus 30 plus 5 plus 1 leads to 136. And the reason I did this, mathematicians, is because I wanted to demonstrate in my math journal a number fact that I have to represent 100. If you've been practicing these diligently, that means all the time in first grade, you might have memorized that 6 and 4 leads to 10. Great. So there are some number facts that some of you might want to memorize too that make up 100, because that's another big number that we have to work on in first grade. It's different number facts, friendly numbers that lead to 100. And another one that you might want to put in your head and keep there forever is that 60 and 40 leads to 100. So since I wanted to show off that I know that, that's why I wanted to break up that number into, that's why I wanted to start off by showing that I know how to make 60, but not only that, but inserting that fact in there with 60 plus 40 more. Then I wanted to do a mixture of addition and subtraction. So I did 200 take away 100, and I know that leads to 100. Plus 50 would lead to 150. I'm keeping that in my head. So 150 take away 10, that would lead to 140. And I already know, because I practiced and put it on paper already, that if I take away 4, then that would lead to 136. So again, thank you for joining me today. I hope this is helping to sort of get back in the rhythm of doing some math in your daily routine. I can't wait to work with you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.